Mace, what's happening, man? Hey, how you doing?
Whoa!
Boom! Back!
Whoa, dude!
We got him back, man.
What?
Mace Beyers, everybody, right here. This
Buyers.
Buyers. You know what?
Okay,
I was
thank
wondering.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so
Thank
Northern
you.
Michigan. I see E and an A. I'm like, hey, you know, like I thought that it went there, but it's Buyers.
That's
okay.
all good.
Thank you.
Sean gets called Dowdle all the time.
And
Dowdle.
Dowdell.
He just lets it go, but yeah. Yeah.
Over here in Michigan, we drink Vernors.
Yeah.
Have you ever had Vernors?
Of course.
Okay,
I
cool.
lived in Hamtramck, man.
I
I lived in
do.
Hamtown for a while.
Nice. So we got
That's
a
what's
connection.
up,
You
bro.
got
Royal Oak, Michigan. I lived
All right.
in Royal Oak for a little bit.
You'd be
Yeah,
surprised
yeah.
how many people don't know about Vernors, bro. Which is
It's
a
an
shame.
East Coast thing.
It's a shame,
yeah,
though.
it is. So
Yeah.
wait, I forgot.
Buyers.
Buyers. The bass player, everybody. This is the bass player for the band Gray Daze. This was Chester Bennington's first band right here. Yep, there he is. That's what he does up on stage. We just got done watching the Amends video too. You guys are like doing like a documentary about creating this album, aren't you?
Yes. So Sean is just such a smart guy. You know, from the get-go when he started this project, we brought in a videographer for every step. You know, we interviewed everybody that played, and friends, family, and just to document the whole process.
Mm-hmm.
So we're hoping to get a 90-minute doc out eventually, but for now we're just giving you snippets of stuff so you can kind of get the background. This is such a unique record. If you don't really know how we did it and everything, it just kind of doesn't make sense.
Well,
Right.
I watched that, and the feeling that it puts off, bro, everything about it, what you guys are doing, it's so legit, it just has that old school feeling to it. Like I'm watching it and I feel like I'm back in like 1995 again. I'm hanging out with
Right.
my buddies. It felt good, and it felt like you guys were bringing like this new breath to it, and you're talking about all these old stories. It was just cool watching that, and I'm excited to see what's coming with the whole thing, man.
The album.
It's just so cool.
The album, man. I want to.
What was difficult was, writing these songs so long ago and listening to them for so much time, and then of course we were rehearsing, but the show didn't happen, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, man.
You get, as a writer, as a player, you get stuck. So to change these songs the way we did was very difficult, and that's why we had to bring in all these talented producers
Right.
that came in fresh
That's
and pulled it off.
that's
And of course, we would listen to things and bounce back. And Sean and I and Kristen, help arrangements and all that. But we really needed their fresh ears to kind of start from scratch in reverse.
Well, you know what?
Right.
You know what is really cool? Whatever songs that you guys were working on with Chester or whatever, it's like those songs now are frozen. Okay, where you guys put them, man. They're where you guys. They're what you guys. They're like a fine wine. They're like there's only so many bottles of this. There's no more. Here we're gonna offer this one thing, and it's just such a unique thing that you guys have to offer, man.
I think it's for me. It's like it's so cool to hear Chester again. Like that's what's
Exactly.
It's like bringing him back. Like almost like some of the last few things that he did before the unfortunate situation that occurred. It's just. I love it. I think it's like when somebody passes on, you think, gosh, they're gone forever, and you guys are keeping it alive. And I think that's really cool, And not only that, you're donating. Are you guys donating a lot to like the family trust, or how is that working? I was wondering.
Sean and I made a decision early on that we were going to make sure all his kids got a nice chunk off this record.
That's
Awesome.
awesome, man.
And, for them that no one else can touch. It'll be no trust. And that was a very big deal. So I'm really happy we
That
could
is a
do
very
that.
noble thing, man.
And there's so many people involved with this. All the producers are there's a lot of different writers from back in the day. A couple of different guitar players and different things. And it really took logistically a long time for us to make sure everybody was on board. Everybody got their due. Their credit, just everything. And so it took years to do all this, not to mention the music, but just the side of making sure that everything is done above board and just the right way.
All right.
So,
Right.
Well, hey, man, here's something I kind of want to dig into a little bit too, because there was some new stuff that me and Nate were talking, and some of the stuff you were recording with Chester was newer stuff. So, like, I think he put in the title like some lost music from Chester Bennington, and it was like, wait a minute, is this like old? This isn't old stuff that you guys had from the band from way back that nobody's heard. This is like newer stuff you guys were composing. Right? Or is it older stuff?
No,
or
so
what is it?
That's why it's so confusing. No.
Okay.
This is, so originally when Chester called Sean and said, let's do this and so forth and all, we started working with Sylvia Massey, and we sent Jason, the original guitar player, up to Washington or Seattle, wherever she was, and started just adding more guitar work, basically taking the original songs and working the music that way. And it turned into, at that point, it just didn't work out with Sylvia. And we decided, what happened, another producer, Lou, had got a hold of the song, and he came at us with this fresh approach, this updated kind of mix type thing. And Sean and I were like, this is amazing. This is what we got to do. And then Sean and everybody else decided, let's grab some other producers and see what they can do. I'm gonna
get it.
So
I get it.
the lyric, the vocals are from our first two records.
Yes,
Wake
I
Me
get it.
and No Sun Today. There are no new vocals.
Right.
There are new vocals to everybody. In other words, there's takes that we never put out on the original records.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Producers got a hold of these, and so you're here. I was hearing all kinds of new stuff, mind blowing. Of lines that he did in different takes and stuff like that.
Okay, so it is kind of a mix of the old and the new. So there's old lyrics from your older stuff, but you guys are revamping all the instruments and going through and reproducing everything, making
All
it
the
crisp,
music
bringing
was redone.
it up to quality, bringing it, giving it the justice it always needed to get right from the rip.
Yes.
Love it.
Because when we did like No Sun Today, for instance, not many overdubs, not much time, no real production. I mean, basically that was just live, dropping tracks live, mixing it, boom, out. So yeah, and there's no way we wanted to put, as much as the fans do love the old material, they like it, they like those versions. We just, we weren't going to, start playing and doing shows and doing stuff with Chester. We wanted to update it. We wanted the music to be happening now.
But sometimes those nostalgic songs never really go away. It's like, I wish Nirvana would get back together and use some of Kurt's old vocals and redo a freaking album and revamp it or something. Like, that would be so cool. And maybe you guys are pioneers to that, man. Maybe that's what the deal is, dude. You guys are going to do something.
It's an interesting thing. It's definitely a lot of work and it's not easy to do.
Right.
There's a couple versions I can name two. Sometimes and What's in the Eye are very similar to the original.
Okay.
Beefed up and much cooler, but they're similar. Everything else, whole nother planet, man.
Yeah.
Like you can hear Sickness already. That's the one that's out that you can hear. But when you hear, there's a couple of tracks where the production level is just mind blowing.
I mean, there's got to be.
Personally, I've never gotten bass tones this good in my entire career.
There's got to be this real satisfaction, though, to be able to go back and revamp these songs, ones that have been turmoiling in your head for years, wanting to just make perfect, and
right. It's
you
almost
guys
like,
get a chance.
You know what it makes me feel like watching Star Wars again. It's like
you remember when they redid the updated version?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally. And it's like all these imperfections that I thought about for years, like, man, because I've got old music that I did back in the day, and I'll go back and listen to it and see every flaw in it and everything that I could change or update, and getting the chance to be able to do that.
And I tell you, it's a do-over, and normally artists and musicians do not get to redo a record they did 20 years ago.
Right.
Obviously it's so bittersweet. I mean, the whole situation is so heartbreaking, but at the same time, so inspiring,
And it's almost like a gift.
I can hear the fans when they're talking, and there's some fans that still can't listen to him, but there's a lot of his fans that are just so happy to have anything new by him. They just loved him so much.
Like maybe a lot of the fans didn't know about the old stuff. Maybe they only knew about the Linkin Park stuff. They
don't. Oh no, it's just a small amount of people that knew. Man. The Great Daze was huge.
And it's, you know what it feels like to me? It feels really to me that it's this gift that he got to give you guys as a last gift. You know what? I went out, I did all this stuff, but I'm going to give back to you guys and allow you guys to have something to just take off with, and run with and give to everybody, you know what I mean? And you guys got the opportunity. It's a gift from Chester to you guys for as far as the vocals, but I don't want to just focus on the vocals because like you said,
there's a whole band
there's
here.
A whole lot of hard work that's going into this. Hey, Chester was the vocals years ago, dude. He hasn't put no work in anymore.
Right, that's what I'm wondering.
You guys are putting in the work,
like when
man.
this, if I could ask this, when this album is released, the Amends album, by the way, everybody, coming out on April 10th.
You gotta
check this out. Who's going to be singing the? Are you guys planning on doing like a tour or anything like that? Like, can we?
This is always like the elephant in the room.
Of course.
Hologram.
He's irreplaceable. We're not replacing him. There's no lead singer for Grey Daze, but we do have some pretty incredible world-class frontmen that want to participate. So hopefully it works out to where we do some tribute shows. Maybe the guys from Korn will step up with us and get cool. these singers to do some tribute shows.
Are you freaking kidding
if the
me?
fans want it and there's a demand for it, we're going to figure out how to make it happen. But he's not getting replaced. He's irreplaceable.
Absolutely.
There's plenty of this fan to send me videos and stuff of guys that look like him and sing pretty close, sing pretty good and sound like him, but we don't. It's not what this is about.
No, you don't want to recreate him. If anything, like you said, get people that he was in the industry with, people that respected him in the business, friends and family. If Chris Cornell was alive right now, he'd be singing one of his songs. And that's another tragedy that goes into the whole thing too. But having other known artists step up to fill those shoes, that's the most respectable way to do it.
Yeah, I think so too. You can't have somebody replace him. It's not like back in the day. Remember, I think it was like Family Ties or something. They changed the dad mid-season.
You can't change
do
the
that,
fucking dad, dude.
It'd be like changing Seinfeld. Like we got Seinfeld, and we're gonna have freaking Bill Burr step in as Seinfeld or some shit.
Yeah,
like that.
it's not gonna be Jerry anymore.
It's not gonna be Jerry.
I'll tell you what. To discuss his vocals a little bit more. What we realized once we got in there, the difficult part was to match. For us to come in there, everybody involved, the mix, the performance, everything, to these performances to match his level of intensity on this record. His vocals are so intense and emotional and heavy and just spectacular. Back in the day, we were in the dugout with him, so to speak. So our energy was pretty high because trying to get that big deal and do all that stuff.
Right.
This is a different thing. This is like, I don't want to dishonor anything or mess up his. We don't want to mess up his legacy or something. So we put so much time to make sure that our energy could match him. Put that bed of lettuce under for him, and lay those vocals on. These producers. I'm gonna list the producers, man, because it really took a tribe. It took a whole village to pull this off. You got S.J. Jones, Pete Massey, Lucas D'Angelo, Chris Traynor, Kyle Hoffman, Alex Aldi, Jay Baumgardner. These are all producers, and there's some songs they did together, some they did separate. The players. You got Head and Monkey from Korn, LP the singer.
Wow.
Paige from Helmet, Chris Traynor, Chris from Bush, Marcos from POD, Jason from Breaking Benjamin. You got Sean's sons, his two sons. They're both spectacular drummers. They're each playing on a track. The amount of players and heavyweights, And
That's amazing.
Heidi, a good friend of mine who does that, a co-host a show with me, Aliens and Beyond. I do that paranormal show,
which we will be
she's a human
diving
quartet.
into.
She's a human quartet. She went in and dropped viola, violin, and cello, different kind of tunings and everything back to back, and did her own quartet, and she was amazing. So I want to give her a shout out, Heidi. Heidi got those tracks, but yeah, I mean, and I'm forgetting people. I know there's another.
Well, it's like you were saying with the production that's going on here. It's more than a village. You got a freaking town. You know, I mean, you got a whole army. You know, of people that are coming together to make this happen. I think that's beautiful. You know, one thing that we do here in the Northern Michigan scene is Dan and I created this whole show just simply because we noticed that the musicians weren't getting the right the right acknowledgement. You know, like that was our thing. We're like the radio stations. They're not playing any of the local music, and they're not playing. They're not giving these Michigan musicians that
platform.
You know, that platform, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And which I just so you know, I play with Detroit Cats, and the drummer in this old band taught me how to play lazy bass, man.
Oh,
and
nice.
If I didn't play with these Detroit Cats touring, there was two places I was always stressed out to tour. One was Nashville, and the other one was Detroit. Mm-hmm. Scared, man, getting on that stage in Detroit, knowing all the chops that are out there, and how musically opinionated all you guys are out there. When you guys talk about music, I swear I think I'm gonna have to break up a fight. But you're just talking about music. I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey man, speaking of Detroit, speaking of Detroit, and speaking of Chester, you know that Chester had a pretty famous aunt out of Detroit. You know who that was? No. He had an aunt that was Jackie Callan.
Oh, yeah.
And she's a famous boxing promoter. They made a movie about her called Against the Ropes.
And your brother, Dan's brother was involved in this thing, man.
They made a movie about her. Her name is Jackie Callan. She was the biggest female boxing promoter ever to promote the sport. She's out of Detroit. Little Jewish.
I've never even heard of a female boxing promoter.
Yeah, a little Jewish girl out of Detroit, Jackie Callan. They did a movie about her, I think, 2000.
I got some mazel for her. Hold on, let me get it out of my pocket. Mazel.
Yeah.
Catch the mazel, put it in your pocket.
My dude.
Okay. For everyone who doesn't know, that's some luck. That's right. Luck.
That's right.
L'chaim. Okay, so she did they did a movie about her in 2005, I want to say. It's called Against the Ropes. Meg Ryan played Jackie Callan in the movie, which is a huge honor. Meg Ryan, right? Well, my brother John was doing some music at the time, and he was recording with a guy named Frankie Biggs, and it was all set up through her son, Brad Callan. He's from Detroit, too. He's a DJ. Go check out Brad Callan. Anyways, one of my homeboys. But anyway, John ended up going on the red carpet with this lady. She ended up being his manager. She managed boxers, but she ended up taking on my brother's music career at the request of her son and Frankie Biggs. Frankie Biggs, he's got a few Grammys for Interscope, I think, or Universal. Sorry, he's a producer for Universal. So he produced my brother John's album. So he went on the red carpet with Jackie Callan and to the movie, the premiere of the movie Against the Ropes, and met a bunch of stars and was out in LA, and her nephew Chester lived out there, right? And so my brother John went and hung out with the guy and stuff, you know, Chester Bennington. He met him and hung out with them. It was pretty cool, man. So he's got a couple pictures and stuff like that. So and he kept it cool with Chester for a long time. He was doing music, and so you know, obviously Chester was in music. John, he doesn't do music anymore. He owns a marketing firm here in Traverse City. He's done really well with himself. But at any rate, yeah, he got to meet him. He was friends with him. He
actually wants to earn a living, is what you're saying.
It's just a crazy story. Yeah, he actually wants to earn a living, and he does great. By the way, he owns Lead Plan Marketing here in
John's
Traverse City.
now doing
really
the marketing.
musicians all do music. It's just, can you make any money? You know, it's so difficult.
Right.
And,
Well, you know, it was just a crazy story, a crazy connection to Detroit, a crazy connection to Chester, Jackie Callan. I didn't know if you
it
knew
seems
that
like,
about
you know,
Jackie.
We're all like 3 people away from somebody out there, man. It's very cool.
It's a funny story.
Well,
but,
you know what? I wanted to do a funny little segment with you really quickly, if you don't mind. Have we talked about everything that you wanted to talk about? I mean, about the Amends album and all that stuff. Is there anything else that you can think of?
We're going to watch a video in a little bit
that
here.
you'd like to throw in
I'm
there?
good. You're the interviewer.
All right, cool,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I just wanted to make sure that I'm hitting all the points that
We're
you
gonna
wanted to get
control
out
this
there,
interview,
man.
dude.
I'm a guy. I'll sit here and talk about myself for the next hour. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna do this
That'd
fun
be-
little.
that'd be cool.
We're gonna do this fun little segment that we like to do with a lot of our guests. It's called Between Two Sperms. Have you ever heard of Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis?
You know, I did, and I had a friend that kept an old roommate kept trying to tell me to watch that, and I just never did.
Okay,
Okay.
well,
But
it's
I know that he's an interviewer, and yeah,
and he asks really dumb questions.
He asks horrible
well,
questions.
We didn't know anything that rhymed with ferns. We came up with sperm.
Yeah, we couldn't come up with anything better than sperms to rhyme with it.
So it rhymes. So
would
we're
you
in
would
there,
you mind
bro.
if we put you in between two sperms really quickly?
all right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Between two sperms,
the song?
let us pick your brain and find out all the vital information. Between two sperms, we can learn about you and we can do an interview. Between two sperms, you can be you and you can tell us all about you. Between two sperms.
That has actually been voted as the worst song on the
On the
internet right there.
internet.
Welcome in there, Mace. You are now in between two sperms.
That's
Everybody,
right.
you can see.
That's
you
right.
can see Mace is. Yep. So we're gonna
Don't
ask you.
pop our bubble here.
We're gonna
buddy.
ask you the worst questions possible on the internet right now, and
And I'm going to give you the worst answers possible.
They aren't
that I
the
can come
worst.
up with.
These are the lamest questions on
yeah,
the internet.
they're terrible questions. Question number 1 is coming from me here, Mace. If you were given 3 wishes, what would they be?
All 3 would be, can I have more wishes?
That's a good. That is actually the answer.
That's the correct answer.
That's the
Yeah,
correct
I'm amazed.
answer.
I was not ready for that.
Okay.
I want more of everything except grief.
If you could be.
Sorry, I can see your face in the sperm now because I'm on my phone. So
Okay.
All right, brother. Here's one for you.
Dan, stay in the sperm. Where are you going?
I'm sorry.
All right.
If you could be famous, right,
He is.
but poor at the same time forever, would you do it? Would you still do it if you were? You could be famous, like crazy famous, but you would be poor. Would you still do
No.
it?
no,
there's no sense in it. The only sense in being famous is getting rich.
Well, wait a minute. He's a musician.
no,
He's
it's not
already.
even that. I'm not famous, but there's a lot of intrusion and stuff when it comes to being in the public eye and all that type of stuff.
Absolutely.
But having no money and having no privacy, I think, is not cool.
I'd rather not be famous and just work a regular job, be able to take care of my family at least,
Yeah, I mean, I'm just all friends, family.
Bada boom.
Yeah.
It was just a stupid question, not meant to be serious.
Money does not buy you happiness, but fame definitely doesn't.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Fame's difficult. From what my friends
Yep.
that I've gotten, obviously, yeah, it's not all it's cracked up to be.
That was a very,
Yeah,
very.
dude, that just like
That was
I'm
a
like,
very serious answer. I wasn't ready for how
Holy
serious that was.
shit.
Oh,
Okay.
shit. I'm getting too
killing
serious
me
between
here.
these sperm heads.
You're killing me.
Okay.
I
All
didn't
right.
know I could get serious. I could talk about anything.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see.
yeah.
Holy
Sperms,
shit. Go,
Okay.
go, go.
Let's
Here's
move on.
here's my question for you there, Mace. What two things can you never eat for breakfast?
Asparagus and asparagus.
No, I'm sorry, you got that one wrong. The answer is lunch and dinner.
Can never eat lunch and dinner
I
for
didn't know there
breakfast.
was actually correct answers.
Yeah, we're going. We got some answers,
There
bro.
really shouldn't
I think
be.
this is an opinion. Okay. So I actually have
You
to.
can give
so
us
what's
your
my
opinion.
score is 1-0.
There's no keeping score here.
No.
Some of them you can just like. Here's one for you. There's no correct answer. If you found a briefcase filled with $1 million, what would you do? What would you do? This is bad.
Fake answer? I'd try and find out who owns it.
Yeah.
Real answer? Fucking right in my closet.
That's what I said. That is the actual. That is the right answer.
See, there was a right answer. We've tricked
the
you.
right answer is to put
I'm being
it.
straight up. Yeah, I find $1 million in a cat. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. No.
Now, I will say this. I will help some people out with that coin.
That's
Easy
my
come,
right.
easy-
Right. Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Never forget where you come from.
Charity, friends, family. I'll take care of some business.
I had
If you're smart enough to lose $1 million, you don't deserve it.
Right. I had a $10 scratcher that I won $100 on the other day, and I gave somebody $1. So I mean, I would definitely.
That was like 10% right there. That was like
yeah. It was a big.
That wasn't
big
10%.
Thank you. I was trying to do the math in my head. You were quicker than me.
Actually, $10 would have been 10%.
Okay, my question for you there, Mace. If you woke up in another country surrounded by people who spoke no English and with only the clothes that you slept in, what would you do?
If you woke up there, what would you do, man?
I think I've already done that. I just don't know what I did.
Well, did you learn that you made it back?
Dan, your question.
You found your way back. Okay, this is so awesome, bro. What if you could change an event in history that would significantly rewrite the future, creating a human utopia on the planet, but in doing so, you set in a motion of events that could cause you to never be born? Would you still do it?
What a fucked up question.
Would you still save humanity and let them have an awesome utopia by going back and changing this one event in history? Would you still change it even if it meant it set into motion a chain of events that allowed you to never be born?
Yes.
You'd still do it?
Yeah.
My
Dan,
dude, see, thank
Dan,
you.
Did you see that?
Because
Wait,
the fact that I didn't get born and I made a decision to do that to help humanity, I did more than I'm gonna do now.
that's true.
And
that's
then
true,
this
that's
is
true.
what I tried to tell Nate because he was like,
Yeah,
well,
living, I'd rather, sure.
Well, Nate was like, if that is true, then how would I know to go back and change the event? I said, because here's the thing. Once you actually go back and change the history event, it starts a new future line where, one, you aren't born. So you wouldn't need to come back and change it because you changed it the one time, and then it went off into that line. Boom. Then you weren't born.
And the fact that you weren't born, you're not missing anything because
Exactly.
you didn't live.
Right.
What are you
Exactly.
missing? You can't miss something you didn't have.
See, I love talking to you because you're the conspiracy
I got
dude.
so lost when I was watching Back to the Future when I was a kid. Like I was so confused.
Time
watching
continuum.
That. It's screwed with my head. Okay, let me see my question here really quickly there, Mace. If you woke up and your house was on fire, what 3 things would you save on your way out the door?
My cat, my phone, and my Music Man Stingray.
Nice.
Okay,
Nice,
those are
all right.
good answers.
I think he's thought about this before.
He's like, I've already got this
Because I
planned
need
out.
the phone to make the call to put out the fire. I need the cat because I don't want my cat to die in the fire.
Right.
And my bass I've had since a little after my nuts dropped, about 16. So
You can always get another cab.
All right, well, here's a head slammer for you, buddy. If you could,
Whoa.
if you could only eat,
coming at me.
yeah. Get ready
Wait,
for
let me
this one.
see
Buckle
crap.
your seatbelt, dude.
I just cracked my neck. Okay, I'm ready for it.
All right. If you could only eat one food item for the rest of your life, what would that food item be?
That's so easy.
Really?
Meat tubes.
Wheat thins?
No, meat tubes.
Oh, meat tubes. What the heck
Hot
is a
dog.
meat tube? Oh, hot dog. Pig butthole.
tube steak?
You'd eat pig butthole.
But they're gonna have to be the good hot dogs, the premium.
The good hot dog. Okay, yeah, right. You're not eating
No,
this.
listen, here's the answer, bro.
Not the shitty, not the,
Oscar
Okay,
Mayer.
well,
bad
Nate
tubes,
said
so on.
Nate said pizza because there's so many variations of pizza
Right,
you wouldn't
right.
get old. I said salad because there's so many variations of salad. Like you have chicken salad, you have taco salad. I mean, you throw some lettuce on anything, it's salad, right? So you'd be set with like salad. That's a universal. But no, I mean, you want meat tubes.
Look, man, I don't cook. Never have cooked. So I've eaten
Dude.
freaking meat tubes.
Shit,
Hot
dude.
dog
I'm a cooker.
in my life. That
I'm a cooker.
if I'm stuck with one thing, at least I'm familiar with it.
That's a great answer.
I can make the best toast and cereal you ever had. Next, go.
If you could keep only, we only have one question each left here,
Okay,
and then
one
we'll be
question
out of
each.
this.
Okay.
If you could keep only one memory from your past, what would it be?
Oh my goodness!
Bam.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot to think about, really.
One memory.
Only one memory. You only get one memory from your past. Only one.
Which one would you keep, bro?
I don't know what I would do.
From this moment back, you can only keep one memory. From this moment back, one. Was it a recent one? Was it a past one?
I don't know if I can even answer that.
There's so many, but you got an old lady. She watching. You better think really hard about what you say. So I gotta
I have no lady.
I'm just saying, dude. Try to catch your back, bro.
I'm single.
Okay.
I don't know.
Children?
I don't
Born?
know.
Children?
No kids. So you saying relive the memory?
No, you
Or
can
just-
only keep that memory. You can only
keep that memory. You were a virgin once, but you lost that one time. What would you keep that memory? Come on, bro.
I don't even remember my first time
Oh,
as a maniac.
No?
The second though.
Okay.
One memory.
Come on, dude. You got this inside of you.
I guess I'm gonna have to say it's such a sad memory, but for some reason I would hold on to it. And I'm actually getting on a serious note. I guess when my mom passed, and I actually had my hand on her head
Oh man.
by chance, so I guess I would not want to forget that.
That's
Dude,
a sweet memory, actually.
that's an
a
awesome-
very, very nice memory. My girlfriend's chiming in right now. She's watching the show, and she's forever calling hot dogs meat tubes now.
Yeah.
That's why Kristen did that when we were recording the record, and they got me some dinner meat tubes.
Well, damn it, dude. Now, my next question is completely destroyed now
Oh, is
because I know that he's single and like maybe.
Well,
Okay,
then-
I'm still gonna ask you the question because it's a zinger, man.
Okay.
Okay,
do this.
how
I
much?
do have a good one taking care of my cat while I'm out of town.
Okay, well, check this out.
Thank you. Yeah.
You
Okay.
got friends and family though.
Yeah.
And you want to hide your true self from them. So here's the question. How much would you pay a hacker threatening to release the dirtiest little secrets on your phone, computer, tablet to your friends and family? How much would you pay?
Everything I got.
How about,
Yeah, it's
you know
that
what?
bad, huh?
You got that $1 million briefcase. Just give them that $1 million that you
Yeah.
found.
Yeah.
That'd be the way to do it.
Everything I got. Because, hey, it might not be weird to me, but it might be weird to someone else. So.
Somebody else would find it odd. Thank you so much for being in Between Two Sperms. We're gonna close up
Hold on.
the sperm
Hold
bag
on.
right now, and then we'll get right back to
Hold on.
closing up the interview, man.
Yeah,
so
stay
hold
with
on.
us.
Stay with us.
Between two sperms.
Between two sperms.
And there it is, buddy.
All right, so welcome back. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes tonight
Dude,
to
thank
chat
you
with us.
so
Mace
much, bro.
Buyers, everybody.
Yes!
This is the
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you asking me to come on.
No,
Oh,
man.
dude, I love your guys' music. I cannot wait to hear the full album on April 10th. And where can everybody get that from? Where's the best spot for them to be downloading this?
Well, I do know it's going to be in Walmart, Target.
Oh,
so
nice.
you can get your hands on copies.
Yeah, get the physical
and
copy.
Target and Walmart will have special tracks that you can't get anywhere else. So
Sweet.
that's something to think about. And then you can obviously go to our website, the Great Daze website, and or just on Spotify and everything. It's going to be everywhere.
Mace, dude, thank you so much for getting with us, bro. You're such a down to earth guy, man.
Yeah.
You have, you got a bright future ahead of you with this music and where everything's going. You got this really cool album, which I hope is a kickoff
And we
to
want
some
to
really a lot
chat with
more
you in the
shit.
future about your conspiracy theory podcast. Or
Can
whatever.
we do that?
Get me on. Let's talk aliens. Let's talk about that stuff.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
sperm guy heads. I love you guys.
Can you
I love you guys.
can you say the name of your YouTube channel or whatever one more time?
Aliens and Beyond.
Aliens and Beyond. That's what you got to be looking for. Just Google Aliens and Beyond, and we'll be checking. And is it video? Is it audio? How does that work? Is it
Oh, we're in my studio with a green screen and all kinds of wacky stuff going in the back. And
that's awesome.
No, that's so cool, man. Actually, I'm subscribing to you right now. I'm a project superintendent for the construction company that I work for,
Nobody
but
cares.
I do a lot of work by myself, and I go to work at like 4 a.m, and I get a lot of stuff.
Shut up! You do that
because what I do is I listen to stuff like this the whole time, and so I'm tuning in, dude. Like you can count on
a lot of stuff. Check out the Sasquatch dance,
dude. I see you're speaking my language.
Hey,
you're
Mace,
gonna get hours and hours of listening from me, brother.
I gotta let you know I work for Britain Banner. I make vinyl
I
banners.
didn't say the name of my company,
big
dick.
banners, and stuff like that. So if you guys ever need a banner or something, contact Britain Banner, and I'll be listening to your podcast.
What a dick! What a dick! Mace, you're awesome, brother.
Yes, thank you so much. We're gonna play the sickness video actually right now for all of our viewers, man. And I hope that everybody goes and checks out Grey Daze, subscribe to them. I know that they're doing really good on their YouTube right now, but man, one more subscriber, one more fan. That's what these musicians are all about, man. They need to gain those all the time. So I mean,
I want to thank all the fans for their support with this. There's so much good energy online about it, and just helping us kind of get it out there to the other fans that don't know about it yet, and please keep helping us do that. Get this out so people can hear the prequel. The Chester prequel, basically.
Another thing I wanted to say: congratulations! You're coming up on what, 9 years? Is it 9 years of sobriety?
It'll be 10 in September.
10 years. Congratulations, dude.
9.
That's awesome, bro.
Actually in town visiting some local cats about that, and
That's cool.
Now I have a 9-year coin.
That's so cool, man. I'm working on my second year myself right now, so it's I always feel for another addict, man. I think it's very cool.
As they say, I only have today, though, my friend.
That's right.
I only have today.
That is
man.
Absolutely
Thank you
true,
so
man.
much for giving us a chance, because we're the small guy, dude, and you're doing big things, and you came on here and you set it aside and you said, I'm going to do something for these guys, and you came on and you gave us a ton of respect, and you let us talk to you, man, and we really appreciate that.
And Dan's the project manager of his business, so
well, you know what? Here's the deal. The reason I brought that up was because I wanted to make sure that you guys know I work alone. Okay, so what do? I listen to podcasts and stuff, so I'm excited. Okay, dick, I'm excited about listening.
Thank you, Mace, for chatting with us, man. We're going to talk to you more in the future about the aliens and beyond, man. I cannot
so
wait.
Gracious, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you so much, guys.
We'll
Enjoy your evening.
Yep,
Peace
you
out.
too, man.
Brother!